Welcome back to the Soul Sister Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Kanisha.
And this is a safe place where Kanisha and I discuss all things relationship, career, health, to say the least. We hope that you'll find comfort knowing that no matter where you are on this journey, you are not alone. Welcome to episode 10. This is our last episode of the season, and a great season we've had so far.
And it went so fast.
It did go really fast.
Like, how we get to 10 episodes already?
I didn't even know that, like, how are we going to fill up, 10 episodes?
I know, and here we are. So, and I think this episode is very fitting, as we'll be talking about travel as we head into the summer months. Mm-hmm. So, if you haven't checked out our other podcasts, we ask that you go back and review them. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So like, subscribe, and most of all, share. Yes. And again, we would just want to give a big thank you to our sponsors. So we have Scrap Yarn LLC. And they have handmade crochet clothing, and it's made with love, and it's also customized just for you. So you can see their collection. They have handmade tops, sweaters, handbags, and more. You can visit them at Linktree, and then that is /Aria J. Again, that's Linktree /ARRIAJ. And then our other sponsor is Royal Victory Cosmetics. These are cosmetics that look good on you and are good for you. There is an offer of lipsticks in a variety of shades and lip gloss, beard, and hair oil. All the products are natural and safe, and they are vegan friendly. You can visit Royal Victory on Facebook and Instagram at Royal Victory Cosmetics, and then also on the Square site. So it's Royal Victory Cosmetics /Square site. And then also, Royal Victory Cosmetics will be out and about in the city doing some vending events over the summer. So be sure to stop by at one of those and pick up some products as well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, watch out for the Facebook and Instagram posts to let you know where they will be.
Nice.
And then also, if you want to have your business highlighted here on the Soul Sisters podcast, be sure to reach out to us via email, and we can discuss sponsorship opportunities for you. So this is a chance to get your business out to an audience that you may not be already reaching, or to a wider audience. So you can reach us at soulsispodcast@gmail.com. So that is SOULSISPODCASTS @gmail.com, and we will be happy to discuss sponsorship and to shout your business out here on the podcast. So for today's topic, as Aisha mentioned, we are going to talk about travel. So we're going to talk about, domestic travel and international, whether it's a road trip or a really long plane ride. Mm-hmm. Whatever the case, there's always something fun and exciting that you can get from that. But, of course, before we get there, we have to do our fun segment, which it's just gotten, more fun over time. So we have our conversation cards again. So we have a little pile here on the table. So Aisha and I are just going to draw a card, and then we'll each answer.
Okay. Am I going first?
You can go first.
I can't. I should have volunteered you. Okay. If you had time, would you rather cook or order in? What would you cook or what would you order in? So if I had time, I don't want to cook though. No, I'm going to just skip that part. If I had time, would I order? I want to order in.
Yeah.
And I want to order in Jamaican. I want to order in Indian. And a dessert from somewhere. I don't know. But those are like my two top favorite cuisines, is Indian and Jamaican. And I just recently went to a Jamaican restaurant, which is new here in the city. Oh. I don't know how new it is, but it's called Mobe Cafe. I don't know if y'all heard that. It's on 1st Street.
Yes. I went there for one of the, of course I can't think of the name, like an event that was there.
Event.
It was good, yeah.
Amazing.
It was good.
That food touched my soul.
It was good.
I thought about that food for 2 to 3 days after I had it. And so to answer this card, I will order in, and I will order in several things off of their menu.
Yes, it was good.
And it was.
Have you ever been to Pepper Pot?
I've never been to Pepper Pot.
Me either,
No.
so let's go there.
I'm ready. Today?
I want to. Not today.
Tomorrow.
They have during the week, like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something, where they have like specials and stuff. So we should do that. I've been wanting to go. I follow them, and I'm like, I want to go. So
what have you been waiting on to ask me?
I don't know.
But I'm ready. We're there next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, if I had time, if I didn't have time, whatever, I'm not cooking. So I would rather order in. The more time I have, the more I can take my time and figure out what I want to order. But after hearing, I used to talk about this Jamaican food. I'm definitely ordering that too.
Yes.
So I will order Jamaican food.
Got to.
And then I will order from, like other sit-down restaurants where you just don't feel like going to sit down, but you want the food. So, like Olive Garden is what's coming to my mind. I love me some Olive Garden.
We go there too often.
Lasagna. I know, but like having it at home, it feels different.
It does feel different.
It tastes better at home when you can just sit down and put your feet up and eat it.
Right.
So
you ain't got to leave.
Yeah. So definitely ordering in from some restaurant somewhere. Cooking would never be my
your
choice.
thing. See, I cook. I get in my seasons where I just cook a lot, but I think I cooked so much over the years with when I was at home.
Yeah.
So like now that my kids are older, and I don't have to cook as much, so I don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes they worry. They're like, are we going to eat this week? Are you cooking? But especially since it's the spring and summer is coming up, they're not home a lot, and they're out with friends.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they're eating out, and if I do cook, it's sitting there for a day.
Yeah.
Then I got to eat it.
Yep.
So,
that's my thing, too. I try not to cook too much because then I feel like I'm the one eating because I don't want to waste it.
Right.
So then I'm eating extra food that I don't want to eat. But yeah, cooking is, I don't mind cooking. I cook sometimes, but I'm not like a cook. You know how people got all the eyes on the stove going, I'm not doing all that.
I enjoy it. I really do, but like I said, in different seasons, I enjoy it more than others.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that season right now. I'm in an ordering
season. Yes, we definitely ordering. Okay. Next card. What is your favorite holiday and why? So my favorite holiday is definitely Christmas.
Okay.
I think it's something to that Christmas spirit. It's really a thing. I feel like people are nicer at Christmas time. Happier at Christmas time, like the music, even the shopping and all of that, because now I try not to be that big. I gotta get this, I gotta get that. It's like I'm getting gifts because I want to, because I enjoy it. I start earlier, so it's really not stressful for me, and I just love the joy of Christmas time. And of course, that's Jesus' birthday in air quotes when we celebrate it. So that's what all makes it good for me.
Man, I don't think I have a favorite holiday, but if I must choose, it'd be Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Because of the food.
Yeah, I can get with it.
But, food brings people together. So I really enjoy, and I do enjoy, like I said, I enjoy cooking. So that during that time, what I especially enjoy about it is like when my kids come over or are at home and we're just all preparing our own little dish.
Together. Yeah, that's nice.
And it'll be over a span of like 2 days.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3. But
That's nice.
So that's special to me. Any other holiday is, yay, but Thanksgiving is I'm glad to be off of work on holidays.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I look for. Like we get the day off after Thanksgiving, that I work here then.
Oh, see, we don't get to do that anymore. We get Juneteenth off now.
Oh yeah, they switched it.
Yeah. So I'd rather have that day off.
That's nice too. Yeah.
That's right around my birthday too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the day after. So, which is very nice.
All right. So since it's the last episode of the season, let's do one more.
Okay. Oh, we got bonuses. Frisky today. Oh boy. What song can always get you on the dance floor? Y'all don't want okay, let me this is my disclaimer. I like a variety of genres. Taylor Swift, Lil Wayne, Justin Bieber, Future. I do. I like a lot. So there's no one particular song that'll get me on the dance floor. Just as long as it got a good beat.
As long as it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So what about you? What's a good song?
Mine is Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 to 2000. I'm backing that thing up whenever I can get a chance to. That's always gonna be my song. Even though the older I get, the harder it is to drop it like it's hard to get back up.
Well, you was too eager to say
I
that.
still be trying.
You was ready for that
I was
question.
ready. Listen, I got close to the mic. It's gonna be Cash Money Records.
I love it. I
That
love
is
it.
for sure.
Okay, your pool.
You want to do another one?
No, I say yours.
That was 3.
4.
Oh, do I get another one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, we really going all out
We
for the last
bonusing.
episode. Let's go.
You get a bonus. I get a bonus.
Okay.
Do how you pull a card.
What is the hardest thing you've ever done?
That's an episode for another day.
You see my face? Like, woo.
Pull another card. We got to skip that one.
I think I got an answer, but you want to skip it?
No, that's fine. I don't have an answer. But
I mean, I would think my answer is one of our past episodes is motherhood.
Motherhood.
From day one. Carrying them, getting them here, mothering them, all of that is hard. Every day is hard. I think that's the hardest thing I've ever done, especially because it's continuous. It's every day.
Never
It wasn't
ending.
hard and done. It's hard and every day still.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's just another extension of you. So
I think that's it.
I think one of the hardest things that I've done, I won't mention on camera. Like I said, that's I won't mention on the mic. That's for another day.
Okay.
As healing is taking place.
Oh, yes.
But another hard thing that I had to do was get up and speak in front of an audience at church about health and wellness. And because I was passionate about health and wellness, and I was invited to do a little segment, and I think they gave me 15 or 20 minutes, and I think I was sweating 3 days before the event, leading up to the event. But the craziest thing is when I got up there and I started talking, I just started flowing because it was something that I enjoyed talking about. I was still nervous, though. I was stuttering, and stammering over some of my words. But the more I stood up there, the more relaxed I got. And I had some family in the audience for support, so I would look over at them and look down on my notes. And afterwards, I was so proud, but it was hard.
Yeah.
But I wanted the challenge because I knew that in order to grow, you got to face those things that you're afraid of. And I mean, even now I choke up when I got to talk in front of a large audience. How you talk me into doing a podcast,
But you don't have
I don't
to
know.
see them, so
I
that
know.
makes it a little easier. Just put on a little more deodorant, you be all right?
Right.
Catch that sweat when it's pouring out.
Exactly. After the show, I'll get up, my back of my shirt be soaked. But I've gotten a lot comfortable in this aspect. But if I had to get up and do it again, I think as long as it's something that I'm passionate about and I care about, I can deliver it.
Yeah.
Do it afraid.
It's hard, but then when you look back on it, when you're on the other side, like you say, always say,
That's Kanisha
you can
thing.
appreciate that.
When you're
Like
on the
it was
other side.
hard, but here I am. I did it.
Yep. So.
All right.
So that was
good. See how funny me?
So we should jump into our topic of travel
Yes. So when you travel, it certainly takes you out of your comfort zone because obviously you're used to just being at home, seeing what you see and knowing what you know. But when you go other places, it takes you out of that comfort zone and you're able to try new things. It's challenging and you have to adapt and explore new surroundings.
Yep.
But you're able to meet other people, new people, like I said, new cultures and just different things that you don't normally do. So in saying that, I think it's important to do that. I know some people I know personally are like, travel is not something that they're even interested in. But I think
everybody
should experience it.
Yeah.
Because it's never just your bubble that you are used to. It's like so much other stuff going on in the world. Like God created all of this stuff and it's not just for you to just be
in your bubble
on this street, in this house every day,
And I'm trying to see it all.
Right.
As much as I can in whatever time I have left.
Yeah, and it's not for you to take it and adapt it and do it all. Now you want to do, this Mexican tradition or this or that, but you should see it and know about it at least.
Yep, experience other cultures. But, everybody has their own reasons for travel. And we'll get into that, so I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead. Are we talking about reasons now or just the fact that it's important to do it?
I think,
either way.
if especially if it's a desire of yours, I think it's important that you get out. Whether or not if it's domestic travel or international travel, even each state has its own culture.
Yes. Yes.
When I got down south where my daughter was going to school, it's just such a different culture down there.
Yeah.
And going out west to California to visit a friend, a different culture. And you open yourself up to experience new things and try, and if you're open, and try new things that you never thought you would try before.
Yep.
Like zip lining. I never thought I would do that.
I still don't think I'd do that,
And I
but
did
yes.
it over like some alligator
Oh.
farm thing. It was crazy. It was fun though. After it was fun. But
But yeah, definitely experiencing different things. Even living in Wisconsin, Chicago is super close to us. I mean, literally a 90-minute car drive. But you get there and you feel like you're in a different place.
Yeah, it's so different.
So many different restaurants
Yep.
and even how they interact. Chicago is just faster and like hustle and bustle and traffic and all of this stuff that we're not used to.
Yeah, and that's their norm.
That's
and
their
it's
norm. And different museums and just different stuff that we don't have here, even being that close to them. So just imagine traveling, a little further.
Or internationally.
And internationally, you're definitely going to be opened up to many, many more things. So...
And there's so much to see here in the States. Like, I don't even think I've scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this, I want to go to Utah soon. And now people like Utah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they got a lot of natural things that I want to go and see there.
Is that what not Mormons.
Yeah.
Sister wives, them people.
Yeah.
Are they from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavily-
That's what Utah reminds me of. Just like people say, you from Milwaukee or Wisconsin, like y'all eat cheese, like
Y'all
what?
drink beer, eat cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do all that.
So
We eat
when
beer,
you're not
cheese.
familiar, you have those kind of stereotypes of the place. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at doing some research with Utah, and I looked at the beauty of it, and I'm like, this is a place that I would want to visit. That's right here in the States, so it wouldn't be as expensive to go and travel there. But yeah, we'll talk about other places that we wanted to.
Yeah, I think I
visit.
need to open my mind to some of that too. Like Utah would never be a place I'd be like, let me go to Utah. However, I wouldn't be opposed to it either.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, I'm not going there. I'm not with it. I wouldn't be opposed because it's like you just never know, what you're gonna see or find or.
And just like
whatever.
here in Wisconsin, if you go up north, there's waterfalls that we didn't even know that existed, and there's so much beauty there that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So we haven't tapped into a lot of like beautiful places here, Door County.
Yeah.
I've never been up there.
I've
That's
never
on
been to
my
Door
bucket
County either.
list, of things to do. And that's local travel. You don't have to drive so far.
Right, a very short road trip. So when you think about people's budgets and things like that,
Yes.
so that doesn't even have to be something to hold you back because you can go somewhere again in a quick car ride that
Yep.
won't be that expensive and still get the experience of something new.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, people don't have a large budget, but a short road trip. Chicago is 90 minutes. Well, I'll just say Illinois is 90 minutes because
Right.
other than
Because there's
Chicago,
other spots in Illinois too.
yeah, they have so much to offer. But I prefer to fly anywhere. I won't
too.
fly locally, but I do prefer flying over driving. Now
So
that I'm
depending on
older.
the time. So like the
Yeah.
Chicago, of course, you're gonna drive, but anything over like 6 hours, I'm looking for a plane ticket.
Right.
'Cause I don't want to be sitting in the car that long.
Well, you look at it, you are spending a lot of the time that you could be vacationing on the road.
On the road, right? That
unless
definitely cuts down your
time to
time.
be at your destination.
Yeah.
Unless you're road tripping and you plan to stop at several different locations.
right.
You know.
I want to do that eventually one time. I want to get like an RV and
Yes.
just drive. I remember I watched Oprah and her and Gail. They called it something like I can't remember. It was something that rhymed, but they were in this RV and just going like state to state to state.
I would love to do that.
I would love to do that too. And like on that show, the lottery show, like How the Lottery Changed My Life or something. One of the couples were getting a house built. So while their house was being built, they did that. They bought an RV and just drove all
See,
around.
I would love.
I would love to do that too.
See,
So that's the only way I would do
yeah.
a longer road
But
trip.
think about how much ground you cover and how much you can see.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about a hotel. I mean, gas and all of that. That's its own other issue.
Right.
But you're not worried worrying about those other things. You can eat in an RV, and as long as you know where to park, you know, you can hit up a lot of different spots.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I would too. So, where did you go on your last trip?
My last trip, I went to Mexico.
Okay.
Last month to Mexico. I got sick while I was in Mexico, so this is not going to be the best story. But I can tell some good parts too.
Yeah.
So, I took my daughter to Mexico, so that was her first international trip. So that was good for her. So she got her
Yeah.
passport and
Very
everything.
nice.
So that was good for her, and we did overall have a good time. So I guess I'll tell some of the good parts first. So, of course, it was warm. The weather was beautiful. So
Of
here in
course.
April is always still a little tricky. So it was not warm yet here. So that was nice to be in a warm climate. We stayed at a very nice resort. That had a lot of restaurants and different things to do for kids and adults, like on the resort. But then we also got off the resort and went to a like water park, amusement park type of a
nice.
thing.
Yeah.
And they had dolphin interactions. So you talked about zip lining, something you didn't think you would do.
Yeah.
I was in this water with them dolphins. Those are my
How was
friends.
it?
I didn't want to leave by the time it was over. I
You
love
want to
them.
adopt the dolphin?
Yeah, so here I am with these pictures with the dolphin kissing me on my cheek and all
That's
kinds of
so cute.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
Never
Yeah.
in Milwaukee would this be a thing, but here I am in Mexico in the water with dolphins.
That's awesome, though.
So yeah, that was fun. That was a really fun time. I did get sick though, and I'm assuming it was food poisoning. I just don't know. It's hard to trace it back to exactly what it was, and it was actually the first. Well, we were there the first day, and then the next day, I should say, I was sick. So there was a buffet like when we first got there, and then we went to dinner that night. I mean, everything obviously seemed fine as it was going down,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
But it wasn't. Mhm.
That next day, I said, Lord, is this how it
What a
is
time.
in Mexico? Because, woo, it was bad. It was bad. So I was in the bed for a full day in Mexico, sun shining. I am
How
literally
long
in
was
the
the
bed.
trip?
4 days?
Okay. So you still had 3
4,
other
yeah.
days.
Yeah, so it was literally a full day. By the next morning, I was okay. Of course, I had to take it slow and,
Yeah.
eat toast. But
To be on the safe side.
To be on the safe side. But yeah, I was good after that, so I was able to enjoy the rest of the trip.
Okay.
So it was good. I mean, there's just, things with international travel, of course, with, again, my daughter being her first time, us having to go through customs and the dogs. And,
Yep.
that's an experience that,
is. That's just part of traveling, though.
it is.
It is. So you know to expect it.
I remember we were in the line on the way back. It was a long line. And one of the people in the line said, it's almost like they punish you for going out of the country. Like you should have never left. Now you got to go through all this to come back. But yeah, so that was my most recent trip.
Have you
Yeah.
have you ever felt homesick being out
I have.
on vacation?
I have. My first trip to Jamaica, I felt homesick. Now that was like 5 or 6 days. But there were also some like personal emotional things I was going through at the time too that I think played a part in it. But yes, I did. By that last day, I was like, let's go.
Oh, man.
Like I wanted to go home so bad. And then I felt
Yeah.
like, because it was so far away, I'm like, I can't even get in the car. I can't, I felt trapped almost toward the end. But it had nothing to do with Jamaica. I love Jamaica.
Right.
For the record.
Being away
Can't
from
wait
them
to go back.
kids.
But it was that, and like I said, it was kind of just the space I was in at that time of my life. I think that's why I felt that way.
But do you think
Yeah.
you fully enjoyed it? Or you enjoyed it the best that you could while you
I did the
was
best
there?
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? What was your last experience?
My last trip, well, let me just say this. My last 2 trips got canceled. I was supposed to be going somewhere this weekend and last weekend, but that's okay. It just wasn't meant to be. But my last trip was last year. I went to Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I went to Charlotte, North Carolina to check it out and as a possible option to move there. So I wanted to go and see. So my niece lives there. So I went there with and she took me around. And one of the ladies that I had met on another trip when I went to Peru in that that June of last year. I had met her there. She lives in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So then I met up with her, and then we went out to lunch and talked. And she was telling me about the area and what area was nice, what areas to avoid, and just like the economics there in Charlotte.
How did you like it?
I liked it. Anywhere that don't have Wisconsin winters, I like,
Right.
honestly. But I really did like it. It's it felt, I won't say it felt like home, but it was warm, it was inviting, and I went in the fall, so that was nice because the weather was real mild, and it didn't get much colder than what it was when I was there. They do get a little bit more rain. I could deal with the rain. I can deal with the rain.
Yeah, I would definitely take rain over snow.
It's
any
not
day.
snow and sub-zero temps,
Yeah.
but I did like it. I plan to go again this year, to go and visit again. I'm going to try to make it happen soon, but I got a lot of other trips coming up. That's going to happen.
Yes, yes, they are. I've never. Well, I guess I got a quick kind of funny story about Charlotte. So I've never been to North Carolina, and I want to go. Last year in March, we went to Myrtle Beach, but we missed our flight.
Oh, what?
So,
Man.
I don't know. Apparently, we left too late. We got the flight out of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So apparently, okay, so this is what really happened. So we kind of did leave too late from here, but also we left out of Midway. And for some reason, I thought Midway was closer than O'Hare, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's further.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we got there too late. Yes. So I'm like, oh
Okay.
my goodness. So as we driving, so then we get there, we had to park, wait for the shuttle, all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we get there and we kind of like running, right? Go to put our bags on the thing to be checked, and it's beeping. Like, no, you can't check your bag. I'm like, oh no. So like, we missed the flight. So I was like, okay, look, get me close as you can
Right, yeah.
to Myrtle Beach. Closest, he was like, Charlotte. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm like, wait a minute, that's North Carolina.
Right,
I'm trying to get
that's
to
a
South
whole
Carolina.
different state.
That was during the time where like no rental cars were available. Because I was like, okay, get me to Charlotte, I'll just drive. It was a mess. So we like trying to scramble, figure out what do we do? Like, do we stay in Chicago? Do we go? I'm not driving all the way back and then coming back
long?
tomorrow.
Before the next flight.
The next day.
Oh, okay.
The next day at like 1 o'clock or something. So we on this flight to Charlotte, not knowing what we about to do when we get to Charlotte.
You figure it out as you
I'm
go.
like, we'll figure it out. I'm like, well, maybe we can take the bus or something. We'll just sleep through the night and then we get whatever. So we get there and we get a taxi that's about to take us to this bus station. But in my heart, I don't want to get on no bus. So I'm like, just ask him. So I said, hey, have you ever taken anybody to Myrtle Beach? And he was like, well, yeah. So it's like 3 hours away. I'm like, yeah, how much you think that'd be? So he gave us an amount. And I'm like, you know what?
Let's just do it.
I'm not getting out of this car. It's warm now. He gonna take us. Let's just go. So that's what happened. So I was in Charlotte for probably about 30 minutes. Got my bag and got in the cab.
left.
But I do want to go to North Carolina. That's one of the places that is on my list to get to soon, hopefully.
I went to South Carolina. I would like to go and visit. My niece, who I went to see in Charlotte, her dad lives an hour away in South Carolina.
Okay.
So we went to Greenville, South Carolina when we was there too. It was a cute little quaint town.
Yeah.
It is really, really cute. I want to visit that area again. What I liked about the South, that it was a little slower pace.
It
you
is,
know?
yeah.
And but different. Like, it's really, the jobs are really big in like the financial sector down there and tech, which I'm technically challenged, maybe financially too. But yeah, I definitely want to go and visit because I knew that South Carolina and North Carolina were, of course they're bordering
They're
states,
close, right?
Yeah, but I didn't realize like how close like that next major city, Greenville, was from Charlotte. It was just like maybe an hour or 15 minutes. So yeah, I like it. I want to visit both again this year.
Yeah, me too. I definitely enjoy Myrtle Beach and want to get back there too.
So of the places, so you've been to Jamaica and Mexico. Are those the only two countries? Would you consider them countries? Out of the country, those the only international travel?
Yes,
Okay.
and I've been to both of those more than once. So just those two, but I've been multiple times. Yeah.
So how do you choose where you want to go? Do you like see it on like a social media feed or advertising or somebody else's photos and you like, I want to go there?
I think probably all of that. Like with Jamaica, for some reason, I can't tell you why, if I'd seen it or what. Probably how Stella got her groove back. I don't remember what exactly made me, but I knew when I went the first time, like, I want to go to Jamaica. Like, that was just a desire that I had. Then obviously once I went there, I knew I wanted to go back, and I still want to go back again.
I've never been.
Well, we can change that.
Yeah,
we're gonna go.
I want to go.
Mexico, the first time I went to Mexico was actually on a cruise. I went with my family like years ago on a cruise to Cozumel, Mexico. That was my first time. This time I actually went, like I said, I took my daughter. They have a Nickelodeon place in Mexico.
Oh, cute.
That was actually the reasoning behind going. We didn't go there because after I looked up everything, I said, we're going to have to live in Mexico. We're going to have no money to get back if we go there. So we didn't. We ended up doing like a different thing where I said we did the dolphins and all of that.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
still an experience.
just as fun. You know how that is. If you put a name on it, it's obviously going to cost more. But that was the reasoning behind choosing Mexico again this year. But I have many other places. Like Hawaii is likely my next place, or Puerto Rico. Okay. Those are two.
Yep.
That I want to go to, but there's plenty others. Like I want to go to so many other islands.
List.
I want to go to Antigua. I want to go to what's the other one? It's Saint something, and I can't think of it right now. Saint Lucia, I think. Yes. So there's a lot, and I think it comes from, of course, seeing people's posts about it, or just hearing other people. I love to hear somebody who's been there and done it and say that it was good.
Yeah.
And then go experience it for myself.
Your interest. There's so many different places I want to go. The top two on my list, I would say, are Greece and Costa Rica. I want to go to Ireland. Of course, Paris. London, but
I want to go to Japan.
Go ahead.
Tokyo. Why? Why you doing
I don't know. I just have like no desire, but
yeah, I want to.
I mean, if you say let's go, I'm going. But I won't initiate a trip to go.
Yeah.
Where else? Brazil, Colombia. Ecuador. South
America. Are those cold places? Like Ireland is cold, isn't it?
Well, Ireland can be cold, but I'm not traveling nowhere. I'm not going from Wisconsin to go to
right. That's what
cold.
I'm saying. When I think of those places, I'm like, that sounds cold, and I'm not.
No, but they have their summer months and that. So you just check out like the winter. Or last year when I went to Peru, that was considered like their fall going into winter, and I went in June.
Oh,
but it was so nice. It was
pleasant.
So warm. You needed a jacket. When you got up in like the mountains, of course, that's a higher altitude. Air is thinner. It was a little bit colder, so I bought a little thin jacket and a little thin, cute alpaca hat for the morning time. By the time it got to noon and you're hiking, I was hot.
It was hot. Yeah,
it was real nice though. But so their winter was pleasant. So it wasn't like, snow and just this brutal cold, but it was nice. It was nothing like compared to here. But that's another thing that you got to think about when you're traveling internationally is what is their weather like? Because it's not the same as the weather here. So you would hate to book something in another country during the winter months. So that's something to really keep in mind.
Yep, and that's something that you want to make sure you do is like research the place that you're going from everything, from weather, from their culture. It's just different things that we may not think anything of here, but there it's something like in Jamaica, they're like police wear like the army fatigue. So you're cautioned against wearing that because it almost seems like you're mocking them or like something like that is what I heard. Okay. So that's something that it's nice to be aware of. I had a little army fatigue skirt. I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear that.
Yeah, I'm glad you knew before you wore it.
Yeah. So, it's just those little things. You want to make sure you do your research just so that you can be somewhat aware. Obviously, you can't know everything, but to be somewhat aware before you travel, especially internationally.
Yeah. So, like, when you travel, do you travel for adventure, leisure, relaxation, experience? Like, because when I travel,
all the above.
I don't travel as much for relaxation as I do for adventure. I think my relaxation travel is more like staying here in the state and going up to the Dells or something, where I'm like only a couple hours away from home, but I can get away for a couple days, 3 days or whatever, and then drive back. I just need some solitude, some alone time.
Yeah.
But when I'm traveling other places, I'm going for the adventure and the cultural experiences of it.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't want to waste that time on relaxing when you're trying to get so much stuff in.
Yeah. Well, people say, "Oh, I'm going to go lay up on the beach." I could lay up at Bradford Beach
Oh no, see,
downtown.
I'm laying on the beach. That's what I was just gonna say. I want the experience and to do all the excursions and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But I'm also not one to just be going.
Oh, see.
I like me a beach, so you can catch me out there. To me, that's part of the experience. I don't get to do
Yeah.
that at home.
Okay.
Well, not all the time.
Sure.
Not probably ever. Summer goes so fast, and Bradford Beach is totally
Well,
different from a beach
it is.
in Jamaica or
Right.
wherever. So that's part of my experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's less of that obviously when you try because you want to do that fun stuff. You want to be able to get that
wanna
in. You only have so many
see.
days,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah. And for me, for the first half of, like, when I went to Aruba, the first half was like adventure. I wanted to see the island. I wanted to experience everything, and then like towards the end, I laid out on the beach.
Yeah.
For a little while. Then I got up to go find something else to do
Yeah.
because I can't sit still for long. But I liked that too, though. It was an interesting beach. I didn't know it was partially nude.
Oh.
Which was a first experience for me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, girl, go ahead. I was like, y'all go ahead.
I've never seen that aside from like on TV or something.
Yeah, it was something to experience. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to just go in and put my sunglasses on, put my hat down, because that's just not
Right,
something
'cause
I'm
like,
used
how
to.
much and how much do you want to see of people and all they stuff
birthday
jiggling
suits.
around? I mean, that's fine. I'm glad y'all feel free to do that. However, I'm not sure that I would
Yeah.
partake.
Yeah, I do. I like a little bit of everything. So that's like my intention for booking trips. I have to be intentional of trying to relax, at least, include or incorporate relaxation on an adventure trip.
Yeah.
Because I want to be with the people, where the people are.
Yep.
I want to check out the culture, the food, not necessarily nightlife, but and just sightsee, see historical place, monuments or whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, what kind of accommodations when you travel?
I feel like I'm becoming a little bit of like a hotel resort snob a little bit.
Okay.
Because like when you know better, you do better, right?
Right.
So I done stayed in some
Four-star.
kind of all kinds of places. Of course, when you don't know. I remember my first trip to California. The hotel actually wasn't bad, but it was downtown. It was like homeless people outside. And, now I know more to look for better stuff. So our resort in Mexico was very, very nice.
Really?
Very nice.
How many stars?
I don't know how many it was. I mean, it had to be a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked at so many. I can't remember. But it was very nice.
Earlier on in my travel years, I never looked at the stars, like up until maybe a few years ago when I, looking at
and
traveling.
sometimes you still have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Because you have one person who
No, I want the hotel to tell me I'm a 4-star hotel. Like,
but I mean,
so have those
usually doesn't it come
expectations.
from
Not reviews.
the reviews?
No.
Oh.
Well, it's like a classification. So, you got 2-star hotel,
Yeah.
that's your, Motel 8
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
But then you got your Hiltons or your Marriott
Yeah.
or whatever. But, yeah.
Yeah, because looking at, I've been to, and when I went to Jamaica this last time, like beautiful, beautiful room. We had a butler and everything. And like looking at reviews
sounds
afterwards, 1 star from somebody who the butler didn't bring me something within 5 minutes.
That's not a
something.
fair
So it's
review,
like,
but
it's
yeah.
hard to look, but yeah, just talking with other people, getting their, experiences, and of course now knowing better. So at some places I'm just not going to stay because now I've set
you know
a
better.
bar
Right, no,
at
really.
this point where, it has to be at a certain level. But yeah, that's to me part of the experience too, even though you're not in the room a lot. I still want
But you want the room to feel good in case you are in there for some time.
Yeah.
I want a nice room.
Yeah, we had a whole like living room space area that we barely touched, but I want to know it's there. If I want to go in there, I know it's there at least. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
What was the question?
With the accommodations.
4-star.
Yeah.
4 or 5-star. I've learned. I had a bad experience in California. Me and my husband, we flew out to Vegas, drove over to California. We got some hotel. I don't know, it was a Quality Inn or something like that. 2-3 star. And that was the biggest mistake of my life. it was a crappy hotel and they had bed bugs.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and this was like right before like the bed bug outbreak all over, and yeah, that was crazy. But I've been in some really nice 4 and 5 star hotels too. Though I've got a standard now.
Yeah, that's
I got a standard.
When
Like,
you know better, you do better.
and I'll pay for it. Like when me and my kids, especially when they invite me on a trip, and they're like, "Mom, we'll cover the airfare or we'll cover the hotel or whatever." I'm like, "Wait a minute, what kind of hotel
What
we
hotel
staying
is
in?"
it? Right.
They'd be like, "The cheapest one." No, no. Let's rethink that. I'm not trying to stay in the most expensive one either, but the price doesn't matter. I do look at reviews and that, but I just got a higher standard of where I'm gonna stay at because it ain't no just a place to sleep. No, I need more than just a place to sleep, and I need that free breakfast in the morning.
And all they like, I love the hotels that give you all the extra little things. Like they have a toothbrush, a shower cap, like the little
mouthwash,
vanity kit with the I'm doing this with the Q-tips and like all the stuff, like stuff you forget something. Like they got everything.
Yeah, I like the Home 2 suites. Those are nice. Yeah, those are really nice. I stayed in there a couple times. Even the ones down, I stayed in one in the south and then one up in Green Bay here, and it was a really good experience.
Okay.
And their breakfast bar was really, really good. And I always look for who got the free breakfast that they offer.
And yeah, with the resorts internationally, normally they're all inclusive too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's really nice.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Jamaica.
Yes. You ain't said nothing but a word.
So what trips do you got planned this year?
Well, next month I'm going to New Orleans to Essence Fest.
For the first time?
The first time in New Orleans and the first time at Essence Fest. So I'm excited about both of those. I know it's going to be crowded.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I'm probably going to have to go back to New Orleans at some point because I probably won't be able to experience everything just because the city's going to be so crowded. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's my next trip that's planned. And then I am looking to plan another international trip before the end of the year, like
where to?
Towards the end of the year. So that's what I'm deciding if it's going to be, well, I realize Hawaii and Puerto Rico are technically not international because you don't need a passport to go there. But that's kind of why I'm looking at those because, like, for it to be a family trip and not all of them got passports and I don't have time to be waiting on them.
Okay.
So, likely it'll be one of those 2 places.
That was my next question was going to be, do you prefer to travel? Do you travel alone? Have you ever traveled alone?
I've never traveled alone.
Really?
And I don't know that I will.
No? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know that I will because I like to share stuff with people. Like, who am I talk to? Like, girl, that was fun. Talking to myself. Like, and I've heard people say that, like, oh, that's the best. You should travel by yourself.
I won't say it's
I've traveled
the best,
for work by myself, not even real far away, and was still this boring.
See, I've traveled a lot by myself, whether it's over to Chicago, down to Indiana, down to Mississippi. Where else did I go? California.
But you went to meet people there? Like you knew people once you got there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Except for Peru. I didn't know nobody. So,
oh, yeah. When you went, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just up and went with that. But I made friends when I got, when I
Yeah, so you were going to
there.
be with people. You just didn't know the people.
Yeah, I just didn't know the people.
I admire that, too, that you could do that.
Yeah, it was a travel group.
Yeah.
So, but I have no problem like going as long as I know other. No, I won't travel internationally or domestically. Yeah, but I won't travel internationally just by myself. Like no, not even meeting nobody there and just touring. No, I'm too scared. But I don't have a problem traveling by myself. Sometimes I like the solitude, but in the same breath, I also would like somebody to share it with.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't want to be bothered with nobody. I'm just like, I need this trip for me.
Yeah.
I'll go to Chicago by myself. But
I haven't gotten there yet. Like I said, I don't know that I will, but we'll see.
What's the most amount of days that you will stay or have stayed traveling?
The most I stayed was that 5 or 6 days in Jamaica, which I thought was too much. It was at least a day or two too much.
Yeah.
But I think it also depends on who you with.
Yes, that makes
So if I'm
a
with,
difference.
you know, my kids and my family or whatever, I probably could stay longer. But, you know, when I'm not, I feel like I need to get back and, you know, get
Yep,
things
get
done
back
or
to-
whatever. So sometimes that can feel too long. So I think it depends on who you with, where you're at, all of that stuff. But probably not much longer than like a full week, like a 7-day week. I think
Okay.
I would probably be ready to get
go.
back to my regular program.
10 days for me.
10 days.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go or just period.
Period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, period. And that may not even include travel days. Because, like, I think that type of vacation, I feel like shorter vacations, if it's 3 days, you know.
3 is kind of too short.
Yeah, 4 is like, I feel like I'm just settling in day 2. You know, like a full day 2. And then, yeah, I'll say day 2, maybe day 3. And then it's like I want to take my time to explore and experience, and then take my time relaxing, wrap it up, and then head home.
Yeah.
So I feel like a full 10 days, maybe 12. And I was so going on a 10-day vacation, 12-day vacation. I may, towards the end, get a little homesick, but not really. The difference is my kids are a little bit older now, so I
Yeah.
know that they're self-sufficient, and as long
Yeah.
as they're not calling me, then I can really relax and enjoy. But yeah, I would do a 10 to 12-day trip because I really want to. I may not even go back to that place ever again, so I just really want to soak it all in. But if it's someone I'm like, I know I'm gonna go back, you know, then
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
A
I've definitely
4-day.
had vacations where it was time to go and I wasn't ready to go. And I'm like, well, I could have stayed a couple of more days too. So, yeah, just got to balance that out.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to packing, what kind of a packer are you? Like,
I have
luggage.
I have improved over the years. I used to be like a 3-piecer, but I'm taking everything I own in the house. But no, now I can get away. Depends on where I'm going, the climate. You know, I can get away with, believe it or not, a carry-on.
A carry-on?
Yep. Even if it's for 4 days, I can get away with a carry. I mean, that carry-on gonna be heavy though.
You see, I'm looking in amazement at you like, wow, I want to be like that one day.
Cause like when I went, when I went out of the country, I was overpacked, and it's like
I'm always overpacked.
Yeah, I used to be, but now I feel like I don't need, because, you know, we as women, it's like, well, just in case, you know, or if the weather is this or the weather is
Because
that.
I feel like what's going to happen is you don't do that just in case. You get there, like, I knew I should have brought them shoes, so I'm bringing them. And I'm bringing 3 more pair, too, because you just don't know.
Because that's how we do.
Yeah.
But even that, like, just depends on what my purpose of the trip. So if, like, my purpose of the trip is to, you know, be adventurous, and if I'm going to be really, really active, I know I'm going to need, you know, 2 pairs of tennis shoes, or I'm not going to be wearing sandals as much, and I just need more lounge or athletic wear. Or am I going to relax? Am I just taking maxi dresses? And, you know, you can just ball those up and throw them in there, and underwear don't take up no space, you know, and then your toiletries.
But them two, I pack, like,
Girl, I always
all
over-
the underwear I have.
Yeah, for real. I do. I was like, you just
Like,
never know.
I don't know what I think is going to happen, but I feel like I need all of these.
Yeah, seriously. Now that's one thing I never stop overpacking.
Yes.
It's like I'm on a 5-day trip. I'm taking 12 pairs
For real. For real. Maybe 15. 'cause that's
and 2
crazy.
bras. I'm just joking.
But yeah, I need to get better with that. I went to Vegas last year for Usher concert. The quickest trip ever. It was like a 2-day turnaround. It was like 3 days with like half one day, a full day, and then kind of like half the next, right?
Yeah.
I said, oh yeah, carry on. That'll be fine. You know, I still ended up with like the medium size one. I didn't take the big one that I always take.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you can't get a carry-on for like 2.5 days?
Wait, you had to
still
check luggage?
I had to check a bag.
You might as well got the big one at that point.
I had to check a bag. I said, "Dog, you need to get your life together.
You
If
about
you
to-
got to check a bag for 2.5 days."
Yeah. I just learned to just like not be so over prepared.
I try.
Because a lot of the stuff, 60% of it, you ain't gonna wear.
Right. It comes right back,
Yup.
folded the same way and everything. I just bought a brand new carry-on too, with hopes of using it one day.
We will soon.
But yeah, I already know for New Orleans that carry-on ain't gonna work either.
Go on TikTok. They'll show. Go on some of them packing videos. They show you how to like pack all that stuff.
Yeah, but then I feel like coming home it ain't going. So I'm gonna roll all this stuff up and it's gonna fit. Then when I come home, be like, how I get this in here now? Because I feel like when it's time to come back, it'd be more stuff for some reason.
I don't know if it expands or
I don't
what,
either.
but
so I'm bringing that big rolling
well, if
one.
you're gonna be there a few days, you're gonna need that larger one.
Yeah, and then you think it's super hot. You're gonna change clothes more than one
couple
day.
times,
It's
yep.
events all day. You're gonna change for different events and stuff. So
yeah, and that's the case.
bring it all.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
But
But I'm working on it. I can't wait. I want to use my carry-on, so I want to figure it out.
well, you will.
How to make it work.
Just and I mean, you're going to the Essence Festival, so you do want to have multiple outfits and
Yeah.
all your shoes and stuff. I wouldn't even attempt to carry
I'm
on
not.
with that trip.
I'm not.
But like other type of trips, just depends.
Yeah.
On what your intention is for that trip, what you plan to do. You can certainly get away with a carry-on. I have done it. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, and then it feels good too. It's like, oh, I ain't got all
bet
this
you ain't gotta
stuff.
wait and go down there that little carousel thing waiting to get your bag and.
Yep.
a
But then I
carry-on
do
will
have
be
like
nice,
my
I'm sure.
backpack, so I have my
backpack too?
carry-on. Oh my god!
But it's not that big. It's like a little case. Well, it ain't that little either. But it's like a Kate Spade backpack. So it's not like
Yeah.
a school one. So it's not that big.
Okay,
But it have all my carry on, all my snacks, and I be having books, and I have underwear in there too, just in case.
yeah, I know, right? You just don't. Yep, you just never know. That's your backup.
Yes.
Okay, so with all the travel, between the two of us, we've been to quite a few places, with a lot of more places to come.
Yep.
That is my thing for this year and for the next few years is I want to go out of the country a couple times, 2 to 3 times a year. 3, I want to say minimum, but for sure 2. So with all of that travel that we've done, let's share some tips when traveling domestically and internationally.
Yep. So, one that I'm realizing is important, especially when you park at the airport, is to take a picture of your parking space.
That's so smart.
So you go there, you all excited, jump out the car, go on this trip for 5-6 days, come back, you don't have a clue where that car is at. So make sure you take a picture of your parking space so that you know where you're going and where your car is when you get back.
I did that. We were coming back from Austin, me and my kids. We looked for that car for about maybe a half hour.
And then everybody have a different thing. We was over here. No, it was over here. Nobody remember where it was.
Then you're irritated because you're ready to go.
Yes.
But yes, take a picture of your parking space.
Yes. And share it with the people that you with, just in case something happened. You ain't the only one got the picture. Take the picture and send it to the other people too. I just mentioned my snacks are in my backpack that I have. So bring some snacks for the plane. That's one thing that you can still bring on the plane.
Oh, you can?
It's snacks.
Okay.
Well, depending on, you can't bring a bottle of water or nothing like that.
Right, I know, yeah.
But like candy and
as long as it's
cookies
packaged.
and chips and this package and stuff, you can bring that stuff.
Okay.
So I always pack my own snacks. Of course, I eat the airplane snacks too.
Yeah, of
but I
course.
bring my own.
That's part of it. As high as airfare is, matter of fact, if they're
Right.
unlimited, bring me some more.
Right. And if the person next to me that want theirs, give me theirs too.
Yes, on the way back from Peru, I sat in like the premium seating. Best choice ever. I love Delta. Oh. And they was like, ma'am, can we interest you in something to drink? I was like, what do you have? And they was like, oh, Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Pepsi, Jack Daniels, such. I was like, wait. Jack and Diet, please. Slept the whole flight on the way back. Actually, she gave me 2. And when I woke up, I was waking up to a meal.
Yes.
It was nice. So.
Yes.
But yes, bring your own snacks.
Yep, bring your own snacks. Check in for your flight. So typically you get an email reminding you to check in. So make sure you do that. Of course, depending on the airline, especially if you don't, if you haven't already secured a seat, you want to check in early because sometimes that helps you to get like the seat that you want or to get on early enough to pick your seat. But obviously, if you've already chosen your seat,
you ain't got nothing to worry about.
You don't have to worry about that, but you still need to check in.
Right, so they won't give your seat away.
Right.
And typically it's 24 hours.
24 hours, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, you usually get the email. A lot of times checking in to go back home is easy to forget because you're doing stuff still. So you want to, I usually set a reminder on my phone
Me too.
to
Yep.
check in so that you don't forget to do that. What else we got?
Be on time. I wouldn't even say be on time. Get there early.
Y'all heard my story,
early.
right?
Yes.
About missing the flight.
Get there early.
And that was actually my second. I almost missed another flight on the way to Atlanta. And you know how you hear names being called in the airport? So we just walking around. I don't know why. I don't know. We going to the bathroom, getting full, all kinds of stuff. All of a sudden, you can hear like them calling our names over the thing. I'm like, what? So we running, trying to get on, right? So finally, we get there, and like people on the plane looking at us like, y'all the reason why? Sorry, y'all. So it was that time, then the time I actually missed the flight. So, yes, be on time. I'm going to take that advice for myself, too, because I don't know what happened.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Being on time is
Definitely
early.
give yourself enough time to, I mean, because you just don't know what's going on at the airport.
No, especially an international, I mean, like,
I
a
was going
place
to
like
say, it's
Chicago.
usually 2 hours, like, for domestic.
Yep.
3 hours, maybe 4 for an international flight, because you just have to do a lot.
You just got to do, and the lines are long.
They're long.
I mean, there people are going and coming from all over the world to that airport. So if you think you're gonna go there a half an hour ahead of time, you're gonna be disappointed when you miss your flight.
For sure.
Wear socks.
Wear socks.
Oh, when you're going through the
you gotta take your shoes off.
Yeah.
And you know you going somewhere warm. You got on flip flops, and next thing you know your feet on this little naked nasty floor. Like no, don't do that. Wear socks. So now I be wearing socks with like little slide on shoes, so it's easy to slide my shoes off and put them on the thing. But then I still got my socks on.
Or you just put them in a backpack with your underwear.
Well, yeah, and pop them out and put them on. Just don't let your panties hit the ground, but put them on. Dress in layers for your flight. I mean, that's good if you either a cold or hot person.
Yeah. Don't wear shorts or a short skirt on them airline seats. That's nasty.
With your legs touching the
seat.
Yeah. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Bring a blanket.
And I'm not saying most. I've been flying United lately, and they have the wipes. They give you wipes as you get in on the seat on the plane. So use those. If they don't give you those, bring the Clorox wipes. Those are also always in my backpack. Bring those. Like wipe your stuff down because airplane is a public thing. It's dirty.
Yeah, it is, and people will.
And they flipping them plane. Somebody getting off. You getting on.
They detailing.
They ain't got time to be cleaning that.
Yeah,
so.
They're not detailing the plane.
Yeah. We got bring a portable charger, which is a tip I need to take for myself because I've been in the airport like y'all got any things to plug in?
Any outlets.
Yeah.
And I would also add to bring an adapter when you go. And I learned this from going to Peru. Their outlets are different. So you have to bring an adapter. I ordered it off Amazon. So you plug your device into the adapter and then plug the adapter into their wall. It has different voltage. It's different shape or whatever. But
I haven't ran into that, but that's a good tip.
Yeah, otherwise you could mess up your device and then you stuck over there without a phone.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's good. And then if you're bringing a laptop, which depends on where you're going, I would say if you're going on vacation, don't bring a laptop. But if you have to bring it, make sure it's in an easy place for you to get to, especially if you want it on the plane with you. So either, you bring in a backpack or your laptop case or whatever, make sure it's easy for you to be able to get to and store it if you need to do that on the plane too.
Yeah.
So those are some tips, either domestic or internationally. We have a few other, or actually I have another one too, safeguarding your hotel room. So I try to find rooms, I try to ask too if they have like the chain on the door, or maybe it's not a chain, but the thing where you can like flip it on the door, because I done heard plenty of stories of people, with keys or getting duplicate or whatever, and they can just walk into your room.
Sure.
So I try to make sure they have that. And if they don't have that, there's that thing you can buy. It's called like a door jammer or something, like from Amazon or whatever. Like you put it under your door, and then if somebody was to come in, it would be like an alarm sound. So just to be safe, because you just never know.
Yep.
if, somebody's trying to do something bad, or if somebody just mistakenly, has a key or get in your room or whatever, you want to make sure you're safe. So that's a big tip that I always try to make sure I am being careful with, making sure the room is safe, especially when you're in it. Safe, period. But especially when you're in it, you definitely want it to be safe.
Yeah. And along with safety, keep your friends and family updated on where you're going.
Yes.
When I traveled I sent everybody my itinerary. So they knew the flight number, what city I was expected to be in when we landed, when we were traveling over to another city. Let your family and friends keep your location on,
Yeah, I was going to say, you can share locations too.
Yep. And, and that, it's important to let them know where you are. Unless you don't want them to know where you are. Let somebody know.
Right, you got to be safe. At the end of the day, you got to be safe. So that's always good. Always good.
Yep.
So a few tips that are kind of specific to international travel. So we did work with Keep It Plain Travel, which is a travel planning agency. So if you are looking to plan any international or domestic travel, feel free to reach out to them. So they are at keepitplaintravel.com, and that's plain, Plane, travel. Or if you want to email, if you have questions or anything, email them at info@keepitplaintravel.com. So we have a couple tips for traveling internationally. So they say to always purchase travel insurance, which is something I know a lot of times people just kind of bypass.
Skip over it, yeah.
Because for one, you don't want to think about paying any extra money after you just bought this plane ticket.
Yep.
You're like, I don't need that.
But you never know what comes up, and it can be worth that insurance.
Yep. And with COVID is a good example of that happening. And then people couldn't go anywhere, and, you don't want to lose your money, but you just never know. If you get sick or something happens, you just need to postpone or whatever. Having that insurance is obviously going to be helpful. And then there is a Smart Traveler program, which is abbreviated as STEP. So Smart Traveler Enrollment Program is a free government service that allows U.S. citizens and nationals to record info about their upcoming trip. So this will be able to help you to document your travels.
Okay.
Hopefully, obviously, you won't need that, but this is another insurance type of a thing. If there was an accident,
Yep. One of those,
or an accident. If something were to happen where you disappeared or something severe like that, this would help you to kind of track that. So I guess, like, if you didn't have family and friends to share with, this is something that you can use so that it's documented. People can look back and say, okay, well, at least she was here last time.
Right. Somewhere
to start to look. Obviously, we don't want to go in that too dark into you disappearing if you're going somewhere, but you just don't know.
Yeah. When I went to Aruba, we had to let them know that we were coming. I forgot. I don't know if it was like an Aruba entrance thing or something, but you had to fill it out, let them know your airline number and your hotel.
Yeah.
And that. So I don't know if this is something similar.
In Jamaica, they had to know how long you stay in, your hotel address, all of that stuff too.
Is it the embassy or something?
I'm not sure.
Wonder. But okay, this is good. So the STEP.
Yep.
Smart Travel Enrollment Program. Okay.
Yep. And then again, you want to make sure to research where you're going, because sometimes kindness can be viewed as a weakness. Of course, you want to be kind, but depending on where you are, sometimes that can
backfire. Yeah, it could be used against you.
And give way to know that you are not from there, like that you're a tourist. So you definitely have to be careful with that.
Yeah, don't be asking nobody to take a picture of you that you don't know.
Right, and you don't think of that sometimes. You get so excited, like, oh, let me see if they can take a picture. And they're like, oh,
yep.
I'm going to take you this phone and this picture. How about that?
I'm taking it all. I'm taking all your pictures.
I'm going to take it all right. And then you want to research your credit card companies, too. So using credit is good. So the tip they give is credit is your friend, but you want to verify with your credit card company about any international fees.
Yes.
So that I definitely ran into that.
Okay, you did.
In Jamaica. At the hotel, I remember like having a discussion like, no, y'all charging me extra money because it was saying like the hotel fee and then an additional fee. And they kept telling me, like, we don't know what this is. We're not doing it. I'm like, yes, y'all are. But it was the credit card company charging me an extra fee for using it wherever I used it at.
That is, wow.
So, yeah.
And so in Jamaica, what is their currency?
They have Jamaican currency. So,
okay.
Our money is more, I believe, in Jamaica.
Okay.
So they like to actually have U.S. money.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because then, like, at the airports, you can do that currency exchange thing.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to know how to count it out, with that.
Because we actually did that the second time in Jamaica. We did it before we went, though. And it actually ended up better just using the U.S. money.
Okay.
So
more value there.
Yeah. But yeah, your credit card company, though, you do have to just check and make sure what the fees are, if they're going to charge you fees, to decide, like, which card you want to use. Because that can add up.
Yeah, that can.
That can definitely add up. Another tip they give is don't be flashy. It says bring your fun clothes and jewelry for pictures and nights out, but not for just being around the town, obviously, with the locals. You don't want to have it stolen, obviously, or, again, draw attention to yourself as not looking like the rest of them, or like, oh, yeah, they must be from somewhere because why they doing all this stuff. So
looking like
be
sucker.
sure. Yeah.
That's what you're looking like.
Be sure not to be too flashy. And if you notice, too, I feel like we are flashier than people in other towns. Like, I didn't see nobody in Jamaica with Jordans on or none of that. I mean, but they look nice. They wasn't like dirty or bummy or nothing. Yeah, but that's just not their thing.
Right.
So you come in here with jewelry and chains and all this stuff on, they're going to be like, look at this fool.
Yeah, they're like, come here. Come down this alleyway. I got something to tell you. Come check out my chicken.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so last tip is to have a backup plan. So making copies of your documents, so your passport, your ID, whatever it is, having a copy of that just in case, something gets lost or stolen. On the resort, you're not required to walk around and show it all the time.
Right.
But having a copy, just a paper copy or even a copy, on your phone or something like that, is definitely going to be helpful. And in that way, you can lock up your original documents in the safe, like in the hotel. Just kind of keep them in there.
Right.
So that you don't have to carry it with you everywhere you go.
That's smart.
So have that as a backup to when you do need to show your documents. You can kind of have them electronically on your phone.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that was nice. Well, we have to Keep It Plain Travel for those great tips when traveling internationally and locally.
Yep, and
or
locally.
Domestically or whatever. So those tips can be used no matter where you travel.
Yeah, and there is, some convenience, obviously, to using a travel planner. You're able to tell that person what you're looking for, what your budget is, what you need, and they can go out and do that for you.
They do the legwork for you.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to cost you a little bit.
It's going to cost you, but probably not even as much as you think.
Yeah, but it won't cost you your peace of mind.
It won't. It definitely won't cost you that. And probably not even as much as you think. I think sometimes we, like, oh, that's going to be, whatever. But I would say reach out. Yeah. Like I said, and, see if they can help you.
Yeah. And they know they're really knowledgeable because a lot of times they've already traveled to certain places.
Yeah. And
they
can
got
give
a lot
you
of experience.
Inside track on stuff that, you wouldn't know. Like, well, make sure you do this or make sure you ask them for this or, whatever that you wouldn't know if you're doing it on your own.
On your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that would be good. So.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of this travel episode.
Yeah, so as we close it out, we are, looking forward to traveling for the summer. Aisha and I have summer birthdays, so we'll be celebrating those, traveling, and just enjoying the summer, which, as we talked about in Wisconsin, that does not last long, and it seems like it takes forever to come back around.
Yeah, but there's so much to do.
It is.
Lovely summer. So
as we said in the beginning, we are going to be taking a break for the summer to enjoy some travel and those things that we talked about. We will be back in the fall. We will be updating you guys on when that date will be as far as us coming back. But be sure to, over the summer, listen to all the episodes. They'll all be out there. They're up for you to listen to. Go back and listen to your favorite ones. Make sure to share on your social media pages, sharing with people that you love, making sure everyone is listening.
Yep.
And like I said, we will be back with more episodes. We'll be back with some travel stories, possibly our first episode back, maybe talking about kind of what we did. We don't know. We might change that. But we'll be back with some more episodes, some more stories about us, some more vulnerable things we'll talk about.
Yep.
We'll have more guests.
Got a full season ahead.
Yeah, possibly some more changes over the summer.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But we're not going anywhere as far as that goes. So make sure to keep in touch with us. Email us. Give us topic suggestions, things that you want to see, questions that you have. You can always email us. We will be there to answer those as well.
Yep.
So this has been
a fun season.
Great. As we talked about in the beginning, it took us forever to get started. Now we got started and we've been rolling, and now we're already at 10 episodes and ready to call it a season. So thank you to everyone who has listened for this season. We pray that you have enjoyed and that you come back and bring your friends and your mama and your cousins and everybody next season as we continue.
Bring everybody.
Yep. So again, make sure you're listening on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and watching us on YouTube. Hopefully there will be some changes there too, but the videos will still be there. So make sure you are tapping in there.
Yep.
So, as we close out, we just want to remind you all that if you didn't have a soul sister before, now you have two. So, we hope you guys have a great summer.
Thank you for listening.
And we'll see you in the fall. Bye.
Bye.